I made a video a couple of years back on my perception of Sanji's character from his first appearance in Baratie to his arc in Whole Cake Island. What I didn't know at the time, though, is how much more Oda had in store for our favorite hot-blooded chef. In just one arc, still yet to conclude, Sanji's character has received yet another major milestone. This time, it's seemingly conclusive. And I'm not talking about a character arc that started back in Zou, but a character arc that was initiated from some of Sanji's first actions in the story. It has always been easy to miss if one isn't looking for it, but impossible not to see once Whole Cake Island illuminates what led up to Sanji's greatest turmoil. I've talked about it before, but for the sake of a conclusive analysis on one of the greatest characters in fiction, here I am again. This will be the start of a series encompassing 3 or 4 miniature analysis videos, and it'll be leading up to a video on Sanji and Wano. With that clarification out of the way, let me point you, the viewer, to the breadcrumbs that lead up all the way to Sanji's victory over Queen, starting from the beginning. Dreams are funny things. They're easy to manifest, but difficult to maintain. Reality has its way of piercing us with constant disillusionment. What is worth sacrificing to chase a dream? For Sanji and most others, this question is essential, but it's also a question completely disregarded by our main character. And it's a question that Zoro has never taken ample time to contemplate. For the first time in Sanji's life, he witnesses 2 men that stand as firm as him on 2 different sides. One so brazen and selfish he refuses to sacrifice anything on his quest, and the other so headstrong and focused he never bats an eye on what he may have to sacrifice for his ambition. If he wins, he is the greatest. If he loses, he dies. It's a goal with everything on the line. Zoro is faced with death's door so often because death is always at the back of those gunning to be one of the greatest warriors. This life is seamless for Zoro. It's only natural given the path he chose. And it's also a path Sanji can't understand. A dream over a life? It's absurd. And it goes against what he learned from his surrogate father. Zeff didn't hesitate to sacrifice his dream for the life in front of him. Even when given multiple chances to hoard all remaining hope, he gives the entirety to the child who thrusted him into this circumstance, and deals the final blow to a whimpering ambition. All for what? For a kid he didn't know? No, this isn't equivocal, not in the slightest. This is what runs through Sanji's mind as he lives his days out working under Zeff's wing. Despair spawned a new journey for the retired Red Leg, so Sanji would do everything in his power to support this next venture. Since Zeff sacrificed his dream to save a useless child, Sanji returns the favor by disregarding his dream to help keep Zeff's new voyage afloat. And Sanji does this because his life was never worth the price Zeff paid. It could never be in Sanji's eyes, because from the moment he was born, all he's ever been to himself is a useless failure, a man not worth considering when gauging what should be sacrificed. Yet, ironically, Sanji doesn't force this absurd standard on anyone else. For a pirate enemy on death's door, Sanji sees him as worth taking time to save. Even after that decision turns against him, Sanji doesn't make excuses nor regret what he did, because he did something true to himself. Just like Zeff's decision all those years ago. Zeff didn't regret what he did. He never blamed nor hated Sanji. He was just glad they both survived. And from that kindness, he found a son. It's the same here with Sanji. What he did makes no practical sense, and even puts him and his loved ones in a bind. Yet, this stubborn kindness ultimately ends with remorse from the opposing side. But this battle is one of 2. Luffy fought as well, and he did so in a completely different fashion from his future cook. No thought of potential failure, nothing held back. But he didn't disregard anything during this battle. It's only that he refuses to settle for anything other than victory. He refuses to settle for anything less than him and those he defends making it out alive. Sacrifice is never on this man's radar, for that's just how selfish he is. But from this absurdity comes novel strength, the like Sanji has never seen. Luffy's refusal to budge on what he wants leads him to victory. Zoro's refusal to stray from his path earns him respect in his life, and Sanji's refusal to give up his core value earns him peaceful resolution. All of these men have completely different approaches to achieve their dreams, but they are all in this arc proven equally valid. Yet, even with Sanji's core being so strong, he refuses to recognize his value because of the past scar. He sees a man worthy of leading him further toward his dream, but still persists conforming to a never-ending debt. Chains he placed on himself. Chains Zeff never wanted on him. Sanji can't see the same value in his actions for Gin when compared to Zeff's sacrifice for him. It came from the same root as Sanji's. That kindness was worth its weight in gold. And not only that, but just like Sanji's resolution with his enemy, it spurred a new journey and a new relationship. With all the good Zeff's sacrifice brought, it will always mean nothing to Sanji because it was predicated on his life. Sanji doesn't leave Zeff's side because he realizes there shouldn't be a debt attached to the kindness Zeff showed him, but because he learns that's what Zeff wants. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. Big shout out to Johnny, Sensei Krolong, and Drepulk for their epic support over on Patreon. If you'd like to be on screen here as well with them, consider supporting me on Patreon. Well, that's it. Spice Boy out.